What's up, guys? Mr. Nguyen here. I am going to do an equation review. It is nothing different from the live notes that you guys got. I had a couple of people that were absent, or I had people telling me I went a little bit too fast, which is cool. I really do respect the honesty. So I'm just gonna do a few problems from this. I'm going to do it again. Again, same problem from the notes. So if you're watching this video and you don't want to see the video all over again, I'm totally understanding of it. So, first example, right? I went ahead and did -10, right? Plus k over 2 is equal to -8. And what I said was, let's go ahead and undo all the fractions. We always want to go ahead and get rid of all the fractions. So in order to do that, I'm going to multiply everything by 2 over here, multiply everything by 2, and those are going to cross out, so that's going to go ahead and be -20 plus k is equal to -16. Alright, remember, get rid of all the fractions all at once to make your life a lot easier. Next is you're going to add 20 to both sides, and so k is going to be equal to 4. So that's a way of getting rid of the fraction. Alright, another type of fraction that we're going to go ahead and do is what happens if all the terms are going to be divided by one single number, right? So notice that this was multiple terms, but only one of the terms was a fraction. The second one is going to go ahead and be -5 is equivalent to a plus 10 over 2. Now, to go ahead and get rid of the fraction, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Focus on our denominator. There's only one denominator, which is 2. We're going to multiply by 2, then multiply by 2. And then what happens next is I'm going to go ahead and cross these suckers off. And then on the left side, that's going to go ahead and be -10. And once you cross off, you don't need to deal with that 2 anymore. What happens is that people look at that 2 and they start distributing to the a and to the 10 at the same time. But no, you cross it out, it just becomes a plus 10. Finish it off, subtract 10 on both sides to isolate the variable. That'll be -20 is equal to a. So two different type of problems in reality, okay? So just make sure you know when to use both. Again, what I brought up in the live session is if you have your notes in front of you on the quizzes and tests, use them to your advantage. And also use them to your advantage when you go ahead and do future assignments that have complicated equations too as well. Okay, so again, don't forget on it. All right, use your notes to your advantage. Right, let's do a couple more. We'll call it a day. So I have -2, and this is example 3. So I have -2 minus 9. That's a 9, by the way. 9 plus x is equal to -14. And again, we're gonna go ahead and isolate the variable. Good part is that there are no fractions, but this problem is going to segue into a little bit more difficult type of problem, right? So this one, again, use the distributive property. Draw your arrows, right? I'm sure you guys can draw nicer arrows than I can. So that's going to be 18 minus 2x is equal to -14. And again, isolate the variables. So x is alone over here, but we need to get rid of the 18. That's a positive 18, so in order to go ahead and get rid of the -18, we're going to subtract 18 on both sides. And so that's going to be -2x is equal to -32. We're going to divide by -2 on both sides. So x is equal to positive 16. Okay, so that's how we do those distributive problems. Okay, because we want to go ahead and clean everything up on one side before we go ahead and apply 1, 2-step equations to solve for the variable. Let's go ahead and do a couple more. -6 parentheses 4x minus 3 plus 6x plus 5 is equal to -2. And yes, I will go ahead and sit here and admit that this looks very complicated, but it doesn't really have to be complicated. What you can do is start cleaning things up. We applied the distributive property in the last problem. We can just do it twice in this problem. So, boom, 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 boom. So that'll be -24x plus 18 plus 24x plus 20 is equal to negative 2. Okay, so again, I'm using the distributive property, which essentially is multiplication. All right, and then on the left side, it still looks complicated. So what you're going to do is you're just going to clean things up. This and this, these cancel out, so they're gone. When I add the 18 and 20, that's going to be 38 is equal to negative 2. And notice one thing, all the variables are gone. You did the math correct. Trust your instincts on this one. If you do the cancellation correct, then trust that, the final answer is going to be correct as well. Here's the thing though, x is no longer existing. No variable is there. So when a number is not equivalent to another number, meaning 38 is not equivalent to negative 2, this would be no solution. No solution, which is awesome. Okay, no solution. All right. Let's try one other type of problem. All right, so this was example 4. Okay, example 4. All right, what happens when you have negative 8 and minus 6 plus 8 and plus 7 is equal to 104. Right, and this is example 5. So for this, it's the same thing as before, is that you're just going to go ahead and distribute. Distribute, clean up the left side. So boom, 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 boom. So that's negative 8n plus 48 plus 8n plus 56 is equal to 104. And what happens is the same thing. These two are going to cross out, right? Leaving the 48 and the 56 to be combinable. So that's going to go ahead and be 104 is equivalent to 104. And it's kind of funky still that you don't have the variables that are available to solve. So you got to ask yourself this question: is the left and the right side both equivalent to each other? And this statement holds true. And because it holds true, this would be considered all real numbers. All real numbers, which is awesome. Okay, so you have 3 types of solution. When x is equivalent to a number, that's considered one solution, just reminding you of what we learned in Algebra 1. When both the left and the right side don't have a variable left, but they're inequivalent to each other, that would be no solution. And then again, if all the variables are gone, but you have the left and the right side equivalent to each other, that's going to be all real numbers. Some people brought up, well, can I say infinite solutions? That's totally fine. If the option is there, go ahead and use it. All right, take care, guys, and I will see you guys soon.